Okay, today let's have revision on your notes and exercises of your geography. Okay, chapter 1, resources and their types, natural and human. Before we go into the details of these notes and exercises, first of all, let us see the keywords together. The first one is resource. Any material that can be used to satisfy human needs is termed as a resource. Technology, the technique of making things. Okay, that's what we call as technology, science and technology. You know that? Natural resource, free gift of nature like land, water, forest, air, mineral, soil, etc. Sustainable development, the process of development without damaging the environment. Okay. Extinct, no longer existing or no longer active. That's what we call as extinct. Okay. Sustainable development, this one is important. So let's go to the question and answers. The first one is, how does any physical material in our environment become a resource? Okay, all the physical environment doesn't become are not a resource unless and until what happened, any physical material in our environment become a resource when it is useful and adds some value to it. Understand? When it becomes useful. If it is not useful, it is not a resource. That means. All right. Question number 2. What are the two most important factors that change any substance into a resource? Let's see. Time and technology. First one is time. The second one is technology. Third question. What are the three categories of resources? First one is natural resource. Second one is human resource. And the third one is man-made or human-made resource. Okay. Let's complete the homework also. When and where was the first oil well dug? It was in August on August 27, 1859. Where? In Pennsylvania, United States of America. Okay. The first oil well was dug in Pennsylvania. What is the resource? I think we have already learned this one in the keywords. Any material that can be used to satisfy human needs. Is it not so? Okay, so let's go to question number 4. What are the different categories for the classification of natural resources? Let's see. On the basis of stage of development. The second one is on the basis of stock, on the basis of origin, and also on the basis of distribution. All right. So let us see the first one. Explain the classification of resource or resources on the basis of stage of development. Let us see. On the basis of stage of development, resources are classified as potential and actual resources. Okay. Potential resources. Potential resources are those found in a region but not yet put to proper use. Okay. For example, Africa has vast potential of water resources which has not yet been utilized. That is what we call as potential resources. Actual resources means resources, those actual resources are those which have been surveyed and quantified for actual use. For example, the regular soil of the Deccan Plateau. Okay, this is the best example of these actual resources. Let's distinguish between renewable and non-renewable resources. Renewable resource means these resources are resources which gets renewed or replenished fast. Okay. On the other hand, non-renewable resources are the resources which get depleted after use and cannot be renewed or replenished. That is the difference, the basic difference between renewable resources and non-renewable resources. Okay, one of the example of renewable resources, some of the examples are solar, wind, forest, etc. Non-renewable minerals, fossil fuels such as oil, coal and natural gas. These are non-renewable resources. Okay, and renewable do not get exhausted. Renewable resources do not get exhausted, whereas non-renewable resources get exhausted after used. You understand? Next, number 7. What are ubiquitous resources? Resources which are found everywhere. Okay, everywhere are known as ubiquitous resources. One of the best example is air. Air is found in the North Pole, in the South Pole, even in the equator, in Manipur, in many, even in the ocean. So these type of resources are known as ubiquitous resources. Okay, let's complete the homework. Classify the resources on the basis of origin, abiotic resources and biotic resources. Okay, what are localized resources? Resources which are found in certain places, for example copper, iron ore, gold, etc. These are known as localized resources. Don't forget that. Let's go to the next one. What are the important factors that people what are the important factors that I think there is a mistake that what are the important factors that make, it should be one make is missing there. Okay, that make people a valuable resource. Education and health, these two are very important, most important factors that make people a valuable resource. Okay, so the government are trying to give the best education as well as the best health facilities. It is because they are valuable resource. Okay, next one. What are human resources? Why are human resources considered as most valuable assets of a country? Human resources are considered as the most valuable assets of a country because knowledge and physical strength transform what? Physical materials into valuable resources to achieve economic development. You know, even though if we have a lot of resources, but if we don't have human resources, those physical materials or those natural resources will be useless. Is it not so? So in order to put those physical materials into valuable resources, uh, what? Human resources is a must. So they are considered as the most valuable assets of a country. Okay. Give reasons why many plants and animals become endangered species. Many plants and animals become endangered species due to widespread deforestation and it should be unchecked. Okay, unchecked killing of animals and birds, not checked killing of animals. It should be unchecked. Let's go to the next one, the last one. Mention the 3 steps to be taken up for sustainable development. I think I have already mentioned about sustainable development, right? Without damaging our environment. You know, I can use it, but without damaging on the environment. So the government are planning to take up this sustainable development. Let's see some of the steps. The first one is to ensure sustained use of renewable resources, right? To conserve the diversity of life on Earth, to minimize the damage to natural environmental system. Okay, so these are 3 steps taken up for sustainable development. Let's try to complete together that homework also. What are human-made resources or man-made resources? Resources created by men, okay, such as machines, tools, buildings. They all are useful to us, so they are considered as resources, but they are in the category of human-made resources. Okay, I'm sure you have understood this one. Next, explain the principle of sustainable development. So the first one is steps. Steps and principles are different. The first one is principle. Principle means rule. Another one is the steps, how to tackle the sustainable development. Question number 11. All right. So love and care for all life forms. That should be the first principle. Conserve the earth's resources and biodiversity. Minimize the depletion of natural resources. And the fourth one is change personal attitude and practices towards environment. Do you understand? Okay. So these are the principles of sustainable development. Don't forget it. All right. So I wish you should continuously revise all these questions which I have sent you in your WhatsApp group. All right. And prepared for and get ready for your examinations and all. All right. Okay. Thank you so much for participating in the revision of notes and exercises of chapter 1. Thank you.